You want to? Thank you. Appreciate that. I am, yes, out here again. Another weekend in upstate New York. Some of you who think, what is upstate? Well, I'm from New York City, so anything north of the Bronx, that's upstate. Oh, good. I'm teasing, obviously, but I'm glad to be up here and trying to yet again go to every single county. This is the 6th year in a row that I've been able to go to every single county in New York. And why would I do that? Because I talk about localism mattering. I talk about people being able to have their own freedoms in their own areas. If I'm going to talk that talk, I have to walk that walk. I'm not just going, as you know, to every fundraiser back and forth. I'm going to average everyday places. Is another locally owned place. Every place I go to is a locally owned place. I have done over 500 events across New York State since 2017. Over 500, maybe 600 now. I haven't even counted. I know it's past 500. It's a lot. And I've done all of them the same way. Live and no notes. All of you have seen me do this every single time, live with no notes. Why do I do that? Because I want you to understand that what I'm saying to you, I would say to anybody else. What I'm saying to you is not pandering because I happen to be here or happen to be there. It's what I honestly feel and what I honestly think. That's important. And you see that in today's world. Boy, is that not happening. But why am I doing this now when I'm not running this year? It's true, I'm not. In November, there'll be you won't be able to vote for Larry Sharpe this year in November. That's true. But why am I still doing this? 2 reasons. 1, to show you that I actually do care about this state. I do. And I will travel across the state and meet people like you and have conversations, even when I'm not running, even when I'm not out here asking for your vote, even when I'm just asking you to show up and let me know what you think. People often ask, Larry, how did you know what was going to happen last year? How can you predict so much in New York State? Because I'm out here talking to you all the time. I actually see what's happening. I hear the stories. I understand what's happening. So I can predict it because I'm here. Of course, that's the reason. But there's another reason why I'm doing this. Because I want you to know that we're not done. I accept that last year, we got our butt kicked in this state as independent parties, as libertarian parties. We had a butt kick last year. We did. And I was at the forefront of that butt kicking. It happened. But I say all the time, if you just get your butt kicked and don't learn anything, you're still going to ask whooping for nothing. But if you actually learn something, now it's a lesson. And again, I take another lesson from this. We do have an opportunity to keep going. And I think it's critical that we keep going next year. In 2024, we have to get ballot access for the Libertarian Party, for an independent party here in New York State. We must do it. People tell me, no, Larry, you're crazy. We shouldn't. We have to. Why? Because for me to be able to move forward in 2026 with another governor's run, I have to already have ballot access. Another thing I learned last year is you can't get ballot access and run for governor in the same year. That cannot be done, at least not by me. It cannot be done. So we have to be able to get out there, get ballot access next year. So we have it for 2026. We can run a good campaign, a powerful campaign to make impact. I hope to win. If we don't win, to at least make real impact to change this state, because this state is a great state, but you're all watching. All of you here know, you all know of someone who's leaving if it's not you. It might actually be you leaving. If not, you know someone who's leaving. We all do. Every room I go to, and when I say every room, I mean literally every room I'm in talking to people, so every person in that room either is leaving or knows someone who's leaving or has left. Every room. We should be embarrassed by that. We should be, but we often aren't. This state's savable. You said to yourself, well, Larry, maybe you're watching online. You're saying, well, I don't care about New York State. I don't live in New York State. Why do I care? Or I'm leaving New York State. Why do I care? Because what happens in New York State is coming to you. That's why. What happens here is coming to you. Now, if you're in New Jersey, it's coming tomorrow. If you're in Utah, it's coming in 20 years. But it's still coming to you either way. Eventually, New York City, New York State is coming to you. Let's fight them here. Stop them here. We can stop them everywhere.
I'm leaving and I'm good.
Thank you. You're leaving in New York. Thank you. Exactly. Yes, because you know it is going to come to you wherever you go. What's the old saying? You can run, but you can't hide. It's true. You can't. It's absolutely true. You can run, but you can't hide. And I'm trying to fight them here. What does that mean? That means next year, getting allies together, because the one advantage of last year, and there were very few advantages of last year, but one of them was New York State decided to trash all of the real independent parties off the ballot last year, which means now we have allies. We can all work together. But Larry, some of them don't believe what we believe in. I don't care. Let me repeat that for those of you who are more pure. I don't care. As long as we can find single issues that we can agree upon and have single issue coalitions so that we can all get enough signatures to get on the ballot, that's all I care about. I was joking the other day. I said, well, Larry, will you take signatures from anybody? Yes, anybody. If the ghost of Saddam Hussein comes back from the grave and says, Larry, I can get you 100 signatures, and be like, Saddam, me and you, we're BFFs. Yes, I will take him from Saddam Hussein. Yes, I don't care who. Anybody. I need them. We have to have them. There is no change without it. No change without it. We must have it. I don't care who. So yes, that's what we're trying to achieve. And we can do that. We get those signatures next year. We fight back in the courts as we will. We get our 2% so that we can now have an actual party here in New York State. Now people can run. Now independent parties can now actually have some actual movement locally. You can run locally. You can now push people to do what you want them to do because they want your party line here in New York State. You will have power locally if we do this. Being on the ballot matters. How do I know that? Some people will say, Larry, does the ballot matter that much? Oh, yes, it does. It does. It matters because if you're not on the ballot, people do not see you as valid. I was not a different person in 2022 than I was in 2018. There was one difference. I was not on the ballot. And when I was not in the ballot, all of a sudden, I had a whole lot of people who were not my friend anymore. All of a sudden, they weren't my friend anymore. All of a sudden, they didn't want me to be on their podcast. They didn't want me to be on their show. They didn't want to interview me all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I wasn't valid. Why? Because they see being on the ballot as making you valid. And some of us in the room I know go, I don't care. Great. You don't have a podcast that has 100 million people watching it. So I don't care. I need millions of people to see us so that we can get our message out, so we can raise money, so we can get votes. All the things that matter in politics, we require people to see us and hear our message. That matters. That does matter. But Larry, will that force you to water down or change your message? No. But will it make me not say certain things in front of certain people? Yes. That's true. Because when I'm having a single issue coalition with one group, I will only speak about that issue. Doesn't change my other issues, but I will speak about that issue that we are together with. And then we move on, other issues. We can keep doing this. As an example, here in New York State, the Conservative Party tends to be very pro-2A. That's awesome. There are other parts of the Conservative Party that don't really follow libertarians. No worries. We will not talk about those issues when we're hanging out with conservatives. We'll talk about things like Second Amendment. That's where we agree upon. That's what we work together on. We'll discuss that. This is a very different change from what we've done in the past. And I found out that when we had trouble last year, we lacked a very important thing. We lacked allies. We lacked help from allies. We were stranded on our own island, and we couldn't move forward. I don't want that again. So we can do this, and I hope we will do this. I want us to move forward. I want us to be able to make this happen and make change in this state. I think we can do it, and we should. Ballot access next year, another run in 2026, and now all of a sudden things are changing. Now we will have impact. I know I'm asking you to wait again. I know I am. But I asked you to wait in 2018. I'm going to ask you to wait again. And some of you will still be here. Some of you won't. But those of you who won't be here, you can still be here in spirit or show up once in a while if you can to help us get some signatures or something, or to wave some signs, whatever, right? Come on up for a weekend to wave some signs, whatever the case may be. You can still do that. But there are certain things I need from you now. Need from you now. All of you who are going to be here now. Number one, a commitment starting in April. I believe it's April 12th or 11th. I'm having another date. I think it's one of those dates. April 11th or 12th, whatever it is. We're going to start petitioning. If you are going to be in New York State or can be in New York State, I need you to give me a couple of days to come up here and get me some signatures. I need you to show up. It matters. Sadly, last year when we had this happen, a lot of New Yorkers did not show up. A lot of libertarians did not show up to do that. A lot did not. I need you to be here. Give me at least one weekend. If you can give me more weekends, give me more. If you can quit your job for 6 weeks and give me all 6 weeks, do that. Whatever you can do, give me whatever time you can give me. Show up and help me get signatures. It does matter if you can. If you say, Larry, I can't do it because I don't live there, I can't travel, or Larry, I'm not able to do it because I can't stand. Whatever your issue is, no worries. Okay, I got it. There's nothing you can do. I'm not done. Nothing you can do. I'm sorry, you had a question? Go ahead.
Yes, how many signatures?
Oh, great. Thank you. We will need at least 60,000 signatures.
And what did we need the last time? Only 15?
Legally, we need 45,000. I'm saying we need at least 60 to be safe.
But before they made the change, we needed 15.
Before we made the change, we needed 15,000.
So they tripled.
They tripled it to 45,000. Correct. By the way, tripled it in the middle of COVID, middle of lockdowns. Yes. On a budget issue. Correct. Yes. So legally, Gary, we need 45. I'm saying to be safe, we need at least 60. I would like more than that. I'd like 75 or 80. That'd be awesome, but I'm not going to get greedy. We get at least 60, I'm satisfied. If we get more, that's awesome. So to answer your question, I think we need 60,000.
Is it just volunteers or we paying people?
We'll be both. We'll be doing volunteers and paid petitioners, both of them. We will have to. There's no way we can do just one.
Counties in New York State.
Say it again.
There's 57 counties.
There are 62 counties
62.
in New York State.
If every county produced 1,000 signatures, it's more than enough.
That's correct. However, Hamilton County only has 4,000 people in it, so I probably am not going to get 1,000 signatures out of Hamilton County. But yes, we could petition the dead, maybe. But yes, but that would be awesome. Correct. We could do this. This is doable.
What county was that?
Hamilton County has 4,500 people in it. It is our smallest county in New York State. Yes, our largest by population is Brooklyn with 2.3 million. The smallest is Hamilton with 4,500.
With no stoplights.
But yeah, there we go. Yes,
No stoplights in Hamilton.
yes, and the largest county by area is St. Lawrence County, and the smallest by area is Manhattan. So that's the largest and smallest. You learn a couple of things walking around New York State for several years. You learn some things. So yes. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's amazing that,
Yes.
that a county has less population than some cities.
That's correct. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we have to first get those signatures. Now, here's the part that's crazy. Some of you are going to say, wait a minute, Larry, this is going to be tough. It is, but we can do it in 6 weeks. We'll do paid and we will do volunteers. So if you can, please volunteer. If you say, Larry, I can't volunteer, I can't, no worries. You can do something else. Donate. I have to raise 6 figures to make this work for many reasons. Number one, to your point, I have to pay petitioners. We won't be able to get it all on volunteers. I will require some paid petitioners. Hopefully very few of them. So number one, donate if you can for that. But I'm still not done. I also have to make sure that we have money for lawsuits. That we will be sued. I don't know why, I don't know how, but guaranteed they're going to sue me for something. So I have to have money for lawsuits. I have the money for lawyers to make that happen, number two. Number three, what I need money. Because I'm going to have to market whomever is here to make sure that we not only get our signatures, but we also get 2% of the vote in November. So there isn't enough to just get signatures. I must then get past the lawsuits and then market enough, get around the state, let people know what's going on, so that we get 2% of the vote. That is how we get ballot access. Go ahead.
How does money donation translate into signatures? Is there a ratio?
No, it does not. We don't know. We don't know. Generally speaking, it's been very high per signature in the past. And the reason why it will be even higher this year, the odds are there'll be at least 4 people trying to get on the ballot in New York State, which means all the talent will go to the highest bidder. Does that make any sense? The talent will go to the highest bidder. So the odds will be very expensive. There was a time when you could easily pay and you get about $3 or $4 per signature. Those days are over. With ballot initiatives, people trying to get in the ballot, the odds are we're going to be paying probably at least, the odds are $8 to $10 a signature. That's the odds. Yes, which is why I need volunteers so I don't have to pay people to come in from California to go out there and then pay them $8 to $10 per signature. Yes, that is the reason why I must do that. I want to make sure I have many volunteers as possible. Does that make sense?
Follow-up question. So on a volunteer basis, what would be an acceptable or preferable number of signatures?
As a volunteer?
Yeah.
2.
No, come on.
I will take whatever I can. No, I will take whatever I can get from you. I will take 2 signatures. You and your spouse.
I'll commit to 100 right now.
I thank you. Commit to 100 right there. We got 100 right there. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I thank you. I really thank you. Yes. I will take what I can. Gary, half of the people on the LP didn't get me any. Not one. I will take 2. What I'd like from everybody, I'd like 100. But 100 is a lot for some people. Some people, that's a weekend. Some people, that's all 6 weeks to get 100. Depends on the person, how much you're working, where you are. So I'm not greedy.
How many people here have social media? Let's see your hand.
That was my next one.
How many friends do you have on your social media page?
There we go.
Figure out a percentage of what you can get from that.
So,
signatures from people who just want me to leave them alone.
oh, I like that. I like that. But let me go one step further. You brought up the next piece, which is say you can't donate. You're not in a spot where you can give money. Say you can't give me time. Great. You have some form of social media or you're not watching this. You're not here.
I got a problem with my social media, but I'm in Sweden.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care if they're in Sweden. I don't care where they are. That's good. Petra, how are you, sir? Good. My point is, if you have social media, you know what you can do? You can click like on the things that I post. You can put a comment on the things that I post. You can share the things that I post. You might say, what's your point? Oh my God, my friends are in Sweden. The algorithm doesn't care. The algorithm sees a like and a comment and a share. It doesn't care if it goes to Sweden or not. No worries. If you can't do those things, you can support me on social media. I cannot tell you how much it matters. I've been shadow banned for literally years. For literally years. The only way I break their algorithm is by a whole lot of likes, a whole lot of comments, and a whole lot of shit. Even if you don't like my stuff, I don't care. You hate me. Awesome. Click like and scroll on. I don't care. Don't watch it. Click the like, comment if you possibly can, and then share. It does matter. This is how you support this movement. I gave you 3 ways. If you can't do any of those 3, you don't care. Stop complaining.
I'll pay $500 cash to anybody who brings me Andrew Cuomo's signature today.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
$500 cash.
Let's see that. $500 cash if you can get Andrew Cuomo's signature. That'd be awesome. I would love that. But my point being, I've given you 3 ways to help. If you care about this state, if you want change, if you care, do one of those 3. If you don't do one of those 3, then you don't care. I don't know why you're watching. I don't know why you even care. Just go back to bed, go back to Netflix, go back to whatever. It doesn't make any sense. But those are the 3 ways. Everyone can do at least one of those 3. I hope you all can do all 3 of them. That will be amazing. But what will happen once we do this, most importantly, they took it away from us and they think they broke our back. They think they baned us. And they did. But as Batman rose, so will we. We will also rise. Yes, absolutely. We will also rise the same way, and we can come back, and we should come back. I think we can. I haven't given up. Say again? Like the Phoenix, exactly. Yes, I did hit the canvas last year. I did. It was a hard punch, and I hit the canvas. But they didn't count 10, and I'm back up, and we're back in this fight. We can make this happen. Go ahead, please.
I want to see if I get this correct.
Yes.
A certain Libertarian state affiliate is telling us that if we do SWAT for the next 3 years and just bitch on Discord all day, somehow we'll be more popular in 2026 run for governor. Are you saying that's not so?
I am saying that is, in my opinion, not so. I don't want to, yes, in my opinion, while I do love, there is an argument. Let me be very clear. There is an argument. The argument is it takes too much time, money, and energy to go get ballot access next year, and we will probably lose, so don't do it. Instead, focus on local, build up local affiliates so that we can be great in 2026. That is the argument. I think it is a terrible argument. That is my view. People believe it. I'm not mad at you. If you don't believe it, no worries. Don't support me. Do what you want to do. I think it's a terrible argument. That argument has been made across libertarian states for 50 years and failed every time. All movements that begin that way start with an individual they get behind. You look at some of the biggest advances libertarianism has had. It was behind an individual, whether that was Gary Johnson, Ron Paul, Harry Brown, whomever, whatever is the person you thought of or you thought of. In New York State 2018, it was me. I'm hoping it can be me again in 2026. That is my hope. But it was me in 2018. It's different people bring different things that it's a center. You become the center of purpose. Now people come together. Oh yeah, we'll get behind Ron Paul in 2008 or 2012. We'll get behind, Harry Brown in 2000. We'll get behind Gary Johnson in 2016. Whatever is the person that brought you or got you excited. That's how we began to grow. That's what, remember, do you guys remember this? In 2018, those who don't remember, 2017, when I first started my run, we had less than 15 affiliates in the state. Out of 62 counties, 15. When I was done, we had 30. We doubled. What was the difference? I ran. My running made that happen. We didn't have a functioning party before I ran. When I was done, we did. I mean, we burned that down. But we had it at least. We did have it. It worked because I ran. Right? Someone has to be that person and be forward. And you know this, Daniel. You were there. I actually said, look, if you have somebody else, tell me. If you can draft Derek Jeter, please let me know. right? I will step away tomorrow if you can find me Derek Jeter, but you have to find someone who's lived in New York State for 7 years. That's the rules for governor. You have to be a libertarian or independent party person at least to run as independent, right? You have to be prepared to fight the duopoly and not kowtow when they come and try to bribe you, which they will. They do every year, try to bribe you, not get bribed. And then take a year out of your life and be punished for a year with the odds of victory very slim. If you can find someone who can do that, plus who is popular enough that people would vote for them, and who could do this enough so people could vote for them, if you can find that person, my ears are open. I have seen no other person who can do that right now in New York State. Now, other states, yes. But who can fill that billet? Derek Jeter could.
How many registered libertarians?
We don't have any because we're not a party. There are no registered libertarians in New York State. We think there are about 30,000 is our guess.
What was the last?
About 30,000. That's why we think it's still that. Yes, but many have left. That's the problem. Many have left. Literally, at least hundreds, if not thousands, have left. So we hope it's in that area. Yes, go ahead.
How do we know if we get the signatures and the votes and all of that in November that the state doesn't do something and take it all away?
The state may, don't get me wrong. That's what I'm talking about, lawsuits. You're right, 100%. We get everything. We did it all right. And they go, well, what we meant was, yes, I'm sure the state could do that. Yes, absolutely. But the one advantage of our lawsuits last year, they went all the way right below the Supreme Court. For those of you who don't know, just last week or 2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court refused to see our case. Now, I've been saying this for years. I mean, for months, they weren't going to see it. They don't care. I know they don't care. But the advantage of us going this far is now we have precedent of fighting in the past. I have said in both my oral and written arguments that this is what would happen. Like, I have said it in writing that what would happen is this right here. We'd have people not voting anymore. I told them how many people. I told them, and this is in court filings, that 500,000 people in New York State vote independent, knowing that they will not win. 500,000 people will do that. That's why they vote. It's a protest vote. This is the First Amendment. They laughed at me. I said 500,000. This is in writing. This is in my oral arguments. I said it. So how many people less voted in 2022 compared to 2018? 500,000. It was the first time in 80 years that there was not an independent candidate for governor on a ballot in New York State. First time in 80 years. No independent candidate. I said 500,000. 500,000 didn't vote. You disenfranchised 500,000 New Yorkers. I told them that. I said the only people who can run now are people who are part of the establishment, the aristocracy. You're creating an aristocracy. Only people who are already in the system can run. What happened last time? Those two people. What happened this time? Same two. I will be right twice in a row.
And that's from the state which values diversity.
Correct. Yes. The diversity state. Yes, exactly. Yes. So the advantage we'll have is we now have precedent, and courts do care about precedent. So we will have some of that. So we'll have an advantage. Plus, our lawyers now have been through the ringer. They now know what didn't work and what can work. So the advantage is going through all this will help us tremendously. But there's the last piece we're going to have. The press. We didn't have the press last time. We will this time. And judges do care. They.
How will you do that? That was our biggest challenge.
Yep, 100%. Last, what people don't want to believe is that judges don't care about the press. They absolutely care about the press. They care how they look in the press. They care how they look in. They're being elected. Yep, you get it. They care tremendously. So I am going to have the press. How do I know that? Because at the end of the election season last year, in October, I had a bunch of people calling me, a bunch of people who I've been begging to pay attention to me. There was a poll in October. I don't know if you guys noticed it. The Republicans are trying to hurt me. They did a poll in October. I had been kicked off the ballot. I lost all of my lawsuits, and did a poll with my name in it. I still polled at 2%. Let me repeat that. I had lost everything. I had a garbage campaign because my whole campaign was based upon trying to get on the ballot. I spent almost no time campaigning compared to 2018. And I still polled at 2% when I wasn't on the ballot. So all of a sudden, you know what happened? The press started calling me. Hey, Larry, you were right about this. Yes, I know. Even after the election, like you I said, and I have receipts. I said Zeldin would lose between 5 and 7%. He lost by 6. Perfect prediction. I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. Again, I said it out loud. You can, if you don't believe me, you can check it. I have the reason. I actually said that. That's what happened. He lost by what I said he would lose by. I said all these things. I said any people would not vote. 500,000. I was right. The press called me afterwards like, whoops, sorry about that, you were right. So now I have their ear. So when we do it again, I would then call them and say, don't screw up this time. Show up where we have to show up. And when they show up, we'll make changes.
They're an arrogant bunch.
Yes, they are, but now they learn a lesson. So that's why. Did I answer your question? Awesome. Let me get someone else. Go ahead.
I think what we need to do is formulate a strategy to harness the citizens' discontent both with current politics and politicians
Yes.
and with the press.
Agreed.
Well, we should do that.
I agreed. But the most important thing is getting ballot access makes us valid so they'll listen to us. Everything you just said is correct, but now we're just some people sitting in a diner. Nobody cares. Once we start putting people on a ballot, they start caring. Once all of a sudden there's a libertarian running for a county executive seat, there's libertarians running for city council, then they start caring. So getting on the ballot allows that to happen.
The only
Is that-
reason you got on the ballot last time was they didn't think you could.
Correct.
So they didn't throw up any roadblocks.
Correct.
Once they found out, oh crap, Larry can actually get on the ballot, they had to up their game, so they changed the laws.
That's correct. Yes. Well, what happens, ladies and gentlemen, some of you may not remember this. In 2018, when we got ballot access, I crossed the state again in 2019, supporting local candidates, bringing press to them, helping them raise money. We had 107 victories in 2019. We had 107 elected libertarians in 2019. We went from 0 to 107. Now, many of those were fusion. They weren't only straight libertarian. If I remember my numbers right, I could be off. I think 10 were just libertarians. But the others were fusion. Democrat libertarian, Republican libertarian, but they were libertarians who got our line, who had to come to us and say they were libertarian, at least try to hold their feet to the fire, because if we had kept ballot access, to your point, we now could have held their feet to the fire for the next time. If they had just said it and not done it, we go, you don't get a line next time. So they would have had to do something. We could have moved the needle. We'd have been important, to your point. That's why ballot access matters so much. Go ahead, please.
How are we paying for this?
Paying for what?
Being here.
Did you buy
I
something?
come here often with my friends.
Did you buy something? Did you buy something to eat? Excellent. That's what then you just paid for it. Yes. And for those of you who don't understand,
I got my credit card.
I love that. Yes. Here's what, and for those of you who don't know, whenever I go to any place,
You want to make something?
I would love you to, but let me explain to you and everybody else who's watching. All these events I go to, they're not fundraisers. If you want to give me money, please give me money. But they are not, you can give me money too, but they're not fundraisers. They're not. I want you to have access to me, and I want to support a local business. So my request for anyone coming to local business is buy something. One drink. You bought a meal, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. I love that, right? Buy something. Buy a drink. Buy a coffee.
Here often, I'm asking people to buy something.
Thank you. Yes. So
But I want this, because I come here with my friend and I want this to stay here.
So I love it. So guys, please buy something. Whatever you buy is good. You can buy a drink. You can buy a meal. You can buy a cup of coffee. I don't care. Buy something. Support this local business, right?
I want this to be here the next few weeks when I come here.
I'm hoping it will be. So everybody listening, please do that if you want to. Now, if you want to support the campaign, go to LarrySharpe.com/donate. Please do that if you want to. But again, I gave you 3 ways to support me. One of them is donations. Please donate. It does matter. If you can't, then show up that 6 weeks and give me some signatures. If you can't, then like, share, and comment every single thing you see on every single piece of social media you see of mine. Every single piece. You can do one of those 3. If you want to donate, it's LarrySharpe.com/donate. I need all 3 of those things. For you in this room, please buy something.
And I do. I donate to you.
Thank you, my friend.
I go out and get signatures. I get quite a number of signatures.
You do all 3. You're the man.
Everything.
I love it. You do all 3. That's awesome. Gary, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So when we are getting your signatures,
Yes.
what are you running for on this ballot?
Yes. So here's how backward New York State is. New York State requires me to get signatures on a ballot and have people and names on the line before we actually select our nominees. What? Yes. So who will be on the line? I will be on the line. I will be on the presidential line. It will be me. I will be officially running for president only in New York State for about a month and a half. Because within about 6 or 7 weeks, whatever it is, the Libertarian Party will pick their nominee and we'll swap the person out. But someone has to be in the line. And my hope, to your point, is, Gary, is that people will notice. And I hope that'll get us press. Larry, are you running for president? I have to because New York state laws are stupid. I hope we can shine a light on how stupid our ballot access laws are, because I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to. I'm hoping, like, yes, you are forcing me so that I can run for governor in 2026 to run for president for a month and a half in New York state only. Yes, you're forcing me to do that. That's how dumb your laws are.
The problem is the people that make the laws are the ones that have the biggest vested interest in you not being on the ballot.
That is correct, yes. And they don't want me on the ballot, but they put me on the ballot anyway. So yes. So that, yes, to your point, I must do that. It is dumb, I know, but it's the only way we can do it.
It seems like it might be a better sell running for president than governor.
Thank you for wanting to punish me, Gary, but I will not be running for president this year. Next year. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do love the support. Not next year. Not going to happen.
No, I mean in getting signatures.
Yes, that's my point, right? My name being on the ballot, people still recognize me. Like, I'm out in diners and people recognize on the street. People do know who I am in this state, right? They do know who I am. Again, I pulled that 6%, right? So people do know who I am. I get recognized. So people will, oh, I know that guy. They'll sign. That's true. Me being on the ballot will be helpful in getting signatures. 100% true. Yes, it will be better. 100%. Yes. So, any other questions or comments? Yes.
What's the plan if the state committee decides to go another route and nominate somebody else?
I don't care what the state committee does whatsoever. It is irrelevant to me what the state committee does. It's irrelevant. The state committee will do whatever the state committee does. Good for them. I have no issues with the state committee. Whatever they do. I am getting ballot access. If the state committee wants to join me, they absolutely may. I'm happy to have them. If they would like to not do that, all good too. They want somebody else, they can run their own signatures. They can raise their own money, get their own signatures. Good luck. That's all I have to say. I am getting ballot access. The state committee has told me that they are not convinced that we should do such a thing. I am okay with that. No errors, whatever. They do what they want. But my response is, I don't care what it does. They'll do whatever they want. I'm getting ballot access. That is correct. The Libertarian Party of New York is what Pietro. You're on the state committee, aren't you?
I was.
Oh, you're not anymore. Okay, so yes. So yes, the state committee will do whatever it wants to do. I am not a member of the state committee. It will do whatever it decides to do. But I am getting ballot access. Yes, that's all I know. I'm getting it. I hope they will join me and be good and do that. So to be clear, I'm going to put that up. Why am I not saying donate to lpny.org? Because I don't represent them. That is, I do not represent them. And let me be clear, if anyone says anything, I do not represent them. I'm not speaking for them at all. They will do what they want to do in their own way. I do not represent them. I represent Larry Sharpe. I will get ballot access. Any money that goes to the LPNY, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I have no control over it. I know what my money is going to. You donate to me, it's going to ballot access this year.
Can you repeat the window for getting the signatures again?
It's April 11th to, I think, May 29, 28?
Month and a half.
Something like that. It's 6 weeks. It's 6 weeks. So it's in that area. I'm not exactly sure wherever those dates fall. But it's around April 11th to around May 28th, I think, in that area.
Tuesday, April 16th to Tuesday, May 28th.
Oh, sorry. April 16th to the 28th. I'm sorry. Correct. April 16th to May 28th. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes. So that's what it is. Yes. Say again?
We have a question online.
Go ahead.
Do you support Lars for president?
I support anyone who can win for president. I support anyone who can get me 2% in New York for president. I want 2% of the vote in New York. Anyone who can do that, I support. Period. If you can't do that, I don't support you. If you can do that, I support you. That is my only criteria. I hope I answered that person's question.
Even the ghost of Saddam?
Even the ghost of Saddam Hussein, 100%. If he shows up and says, if I'm a president, I can get 2% in New York State, he's on the ballot. Yes. All I care about is can you get 2% of the vote in New York State? That is my number one criteria. You can't get that, I don't support you. You can get that, I support you. That's it. Yes, that's all I care about. Go ahead. I'm listening.
For Kingston residents and anyone else that's watching this.
Yeah.
What you need to do, take the weekends in that period, that you've delineated.
Yep.
And blitz the town, or in this case, Kingston.
Yes.
All you will need is a little flyer with, say, 5 or 6 points supported by Larry Sharpe. You stick that in the person's hand.
I love it.
Have the signature
Yep.
form already, and you spend 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. blitzing that.
We now have our Kingston captain.
All you have to do.
We have our Kingston captain. Thank you. Yes, we are good. I appreciate it. I love it.
You donate something like 6 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday. In places like Kingston, it will be just as busy on a Sunday.
I love it.
That's what you do. I'm amazed that Ulster County Libertarian Party has not brought that up.
Well, we may. Hold on. I want to be clear. We haven't done it until next year. We'll do it, and we'll make things work. To be very full with you guys, we made a lot of errors last year. A lot of errors. And some people are pointing fingers at individuals who made mistakes, who were not in good faith, and all those things. And all those things are probably true, but it doesn't matter. The responsibility was mine. The responsibility was mine. So regardless of who did what and who stabbed who and who didn't do whatever, all those things are probably true. But if you've noticed, I haven't pointed many fingers at all. I haven't blamed people by name, none of that. Why? It's not helpful, number one. And number two, the responsibility is mine. And I fell down. I will get back up and I will fix this. That's what I'm doing. I can point the finger all day. But if I keep pointing the finger and, it's his fault, her fault, the other guy's fault, she did that, he did this, does that get us ballot access? No. Does that fix our state? No. Does me getting off my ass and fixing this fix our state? Yes, it does. So that's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. So yes, go ahead.
Assess, adjust, and overcome. Where have you heard that before?
There, yes, absolutely. There are some advantages to being a veteran. So yes, absolutely. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming here today. Thank you all for listening online. Remember, it's larrysharpe.com/donate. Give whatever you can. It does matter. We are going to make this work. Thank you all so much. Thank you.